Hi everyone, Blaine here, and it's New Year's Eve, and we're going to do a flight from Chicago's O'Hare to Detroit. So with that, let's get into it. We're in Zebo's 737-800, of course, and let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set the mood. Okay, so that is good. So let's jump into the FMC. Okay, so we are at KORD. And we are going to do runway 10 left for our departure. You're going to KDTW, Detroit. We are flight number 175, which is my call sign. Although until I actually use air traffic control, I'm going to have to, learn in Pilot Edge. It's not easy. Okay, 24,500. Execute, and one limit. Outside temperature is 14 degrees Celsius. Man, I wish it was 14 degrees Celsius where I'm at now. In Edmonton, it's minus 26 Celsius, which is really, really cold. Lived in Canada my entire life, and I've never gotten used to that. And trim is 4.81. And V speed's 139. Okay, departure and arrival. We're departing Chicago. Okay. That is weird that there is no SID. Mizar 4 and Litchfield was the transition we wanted, and we were coming in on runway 4 right ILS. Fava was our final approach, or our initial approach fix, so yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, yes, route discontinuity, because we don't have a SID. Okay, we're gonna remove, Ramzin, because Ramzin takes us in a complete, weird series of turns. Might cause the nav disalignment. So we're gonna take our initial approach fix, and we're gonna go and replace Ramzin. Execute that, and now if we go to that and we hit step, there we go, that should work. Now if I go back to the front of the legs page, okay, so take off and then climb 303, okay, that makes sense at least. And then just before the runways are 4, 153, so 135, and then yeah, we have to go 120 knots in 3 miles. No, not happening. 55, 175. You know what? Given that these are all 3-mile segments, I think I'm going to do this a bit differently. Yeah, we're going to do this differently. We're going to go we're going to do this in series of 10, because otherwise it's going to be way too much. So 145, 155, 165. Yeah, because otherwise 3 nautical miles to slow down by that degree is just absolutely insane. If I didn't have passengers and it wasn't my plane, I might be crazy enough to do it, but $250. 17 nautical mile, 250, and then 3. You know what? I'll just manually slow it down. Turn on the heat. Probes. 24,500. Our final approach fix altitude is 2,000. Okay. Engine set to continuous. Strobe to steady. Landing lights on. MCP. Flight director on. Flight director on. Our auto throttle we're going to leave off, because we're going to have to reverse. Okay, brakes to RTO. We have flaps already set to 5. Turn on terrain. Radios are, we don't have to do anything yet, but radios are on. Okay. Okay. I think we are pretty much good to go. Okay. Actually, let's just do this. Okay, so... Okay, thruster reverser activated. Parking brake off. Okay, let's back up. What is this Qantas doing? I swear the AI aircraft in this game is ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna turn a little bit to give him some room. Reverser's canceled. And we're off to our departure runway, which is 10 left. We're gonna have to cross a runway here, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop for a second here. Nothing coming. Nothing coming. But I'm wondering what that Boeing is doing over there. He's taking his time. Okay, well, I know that the AI aircraft in here is like I just added it for show, but you know, we don't want to just run through AI aircraft because we can or whatever. So with that in mind, I can obviously see that there is, you know, nothing coming. So with that in mind, we will take a different route. Okay, when I get to the end of this, I'll be at the runway I want, so that's good. What is our, well, not that long of a flight at all. Since we don't need reversers anymore, I'm going to arm auto throttle. Nothing coming, nothing coming, alright. It does take a little extra time to do taxiing and whatnot, but I do kind of enjoy it because it adds to the whole flight experience, so. Okay. Okay, flight path vector, N1 to 40%. Okay, park brake off, toga activated, let's get out of here. Rotate aircraft. Positive rate, gear up. When we get to 2,000 feet, I'm gonna set the flaps down. 2,000 feet, flaps down, or flaps up I should say, and autopilot engaged. Throttle to idle. Okay, we're going to put our gear to off. It looks like we're climbing. 136, 38, 37 nautical miles to top of climb. Is it this one here that told us where top of descent was? Top of descent is just before our Linfield transition, or just after I should say. So, (133 nautical miles). We should be there at 128 hours. It's 0104, so about 20 minutes is when we'll be there. Once we get to 10,000, and that I'll put on some tunes, and we can just kind of partake in the scenery and whatnot until we get to just before top of descent, and then we will we'll be good. Speed's holding at 250 because we're below 10,000, which is good. Flying over the Great Lakes. Lake Michigan. And we've crossed 10,000, so with that we're going to go to our overhead panel. We're going to set our engine starts to auto. We're going to turn the landing lights off. Engine start to continuous and landing lights, those are two settings you want to have below 10,000. Once you've surpassed 10,000, you don't need to have them on. So, past 10,000, you see your speeds increasing. So with that in mind, we got a little bit of time here before we have to really do anything. Let me check the FMC one more time here. Climbing to 303. 26 now, so we are currently at, for our time, 106, so yeah, so about 20 minutes. Wondering why I guess when we get to, when we get to top of climb, that's when it should be at, it'll increase to 303. If I go to my legs page, how much time do we have top of climb? 21 nautical miles, okay, so we don't got that far to go. I'll wait till we get to top of climb, and then I'll put on the music and some because I want to just make sure that it actually does get to 303 knots. That's what the cruise speed is supposed to be. You can always check this kind of stuff if you go to your FMC here and on the progress page. Right here you can see, you know, to top of climb, the distance to, or the time when you should be arriving at your destination, you know, your transition, things like that. If you go to legs, you can see how far you are away from things and what speed you should be at. So we should be at 303 when we get to flight level 245. So other than our speed, everything looks good so far. If we get to our cruise altitude at top of climb, and it doesn't increase, we may have to intervene on that, and I can show you how to do that. It's really easy. I've been wondering actually for some time now, it's probably a setting, but maybe I should check the forums. As you can see here on the nav display, there's a thing that says TCAS off. TCAS is the Traffic Collision Avoidance System, and it's used for two planes that are vectoring towards each other on the same flight level. And with it, I mean, obviously we're in a situation here where we only have a few AI aircraft and that, but it's still an important system to have on. There's been several times in aviation history where TCAS has been either turned off or it's recommended. How it basically works is two planes are on the same trajectory and it issues a first warning where it basically sounds really loudly. It goes, traffic, traffic. And then what it does is it issues what's known as an exit scenario, where it will say to plane A, it will say descend, descend now, and plane B, it will say climb, climb now. And so what that will do is, as long as pilots obey the TCAS system, it will not cause a crash. However, there have been times in aviation history where pilots have listened to air traffic controllers as opposed to TCAS, and they've crashed in each opportunity or each situation there. So, but it's interesting that it's off. It's a good system to have on, because otherwise, you know, mid-air collisions happen abruptly, and they're not good. But okay, so we're at our cruise altitude. We're going to level off here, and as our speed, it's kind of increasing. Slowly. Yeah, okay, I think we're okay. Yeah, it's climbing, so it's going to head to 303. Okay, so going to check the FMC one more time. We are currently, so 0124, and we're at 11, so we got about 10-15 minutes or so until we arrive at the top of descent, in which case we got to do some changes, and then we're good. So with that in mind, I'm going to put on some tunes and just kind of sit back and enjoy. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, welcome back. And so as you can see, we're approaching top of descent now. So there's a couple of things we have to do to prepare for that. We need to go to the FMC, and we need to go to Init Ref, and we need to select our flap speed. So we're going to line select here, and again. Our course is 33, and we also need to go to legs and find our final approach, 2,000 feet. So we're going to go to the FMC, and we're going to bring this to 2,000 feet. We're going to set our course to 33. Going to configure our brakes for 2, and we have to set our ILS frequency, which is going to be 110.7. Okay, and so we are configured for, we're configured now after top of descent, so that's good. It is kind of dark in the video. I'll turn the lights up again. I thought that'd kind of look nice if it was, but turn it up at least so we can kind of see what's going on in the cabin here. Okay, and you can see we're starting to descend. We have a negative rate. 272. Okay. So 145 to arrival, and we are at 126, so about 20 minutes. Just gonna see now. Where are we? Here. No, not near Detroit yet. I always like to confirm to make sure that that's the correct ILS frequency. So if you look at the nav display in front of me here, we're approaching Randall, and we're going to go to Mizar, which is going to be our star. But between Mizar and our initial approach fix of Fava, we don't really have to do anything other than kind of monitor speeds. So what I'll do is, I'm going to be here and monitoring things obviously, but I'll put the tunes back on for just a little bit longer until we get closer to Fava when we turn base, and then I'll go through the landing procedure. So just a little bit. Hey guys, so the issue we're running into here is that when we get to bang, we have to be at 195, but the FMC believes that right now we should be at 250, and it says FMC speed. So because of that, we're going to do what's called a speed intervene right here, and we're going to slow the plane down manually. Okay, and we're about to cross 10,000, so I'm going to put the engines to continuous, and landing lights on. And we have an altitude restriction. At or above. Interesting. Okay, how far are we from our airport now? If I go to progress, we are 21 nautical miles. Okay, it's going to be too far for the glide slope. Okay, 195. Okay, and if I hit map, we are... Okay, passing through 7,000. "17 nautical miles." Okay. I'm going to go ahead and deploy flaps 1. Track the speed brake. ILS frequency is good. Weird, I'm either losing my mind or I can't find Detroit. Hmm. "13 nautical miles." Okay, flaps down. We're going to slow this plane down. Go. Yes, drag is required. Ten nautical miles. Flaps down again. Okay, we're going to switch this to 10. Apologize that I'm unable to find... Oh, here we go. At least I can pick this. There we go. We wanted runway 04 right. Okay. VOR lock. Approach. Looks like we're in the glide slope, which is good. Do flaps again. Slow it down. We have glide slope capture. How far are we? 6K. Flaps down. Inside of 5, gear down. Okay, gear is locked. Distance to the airport, 2 nautical miles, flaps 40. Configure to 130 knots as per the FMC. Okay, looks like everything's good. We're coming in. Glide slope's on point. Brakes are set to 2. MCP speed is good. Gears down, flaps 40. Okay, we're good. Last thing to check. That I can't see any PAPL lights. Okay, so we're good. We're coming in, and everything is good. Maybe it's just because it's flying at night, but for a second there I was thinking we're way too low. But no, we're good. We're on point. Give you that nighttime feel. My aircraft. And 5-degree flare.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And nose down. Speed brake extend. Thrust reverse is activated. And we're in Detroit. Okay, we're going to cancel thrust reversers because we've surpassed 80 knots. Manually brake. I'll just take the next exit to the terminal. Yeah, I was a little worried there because it just seemed that it was it was really low, but that could have just been me. A little bit of spatial disorientation there. Okay, so we, oh, didn't mean to do that. We made it to Detroit with no issues. Came in after dark, but that's okay. So it was a good flight, and everything worked out. So thanks for watching, everybody, and Happy New Year. Best wishes in 2018. Be sure to hit subscribe to be notified when new videos are posted. Thanks for watching.